Hey there, Jason here. I have a day-long retreat coming up this Saturday in Santa Monica on mindfulness and creativity. And in anticipation of that, I thought it would be fun to share some of the general themes we'll be going over and some of the practices we'll be doing to entice you to come. So here's a little overview. First of all, I'll say I define creativity very broadly. So basically, creativity is any any act which puts something out into the world, which engages a form of your self-expression, to put something out into the world, and that could be an art form, music, um, visual art, a movie, a screenplay, a novel. It could also be a business. It could be something you do in your work, like a presentation, a PowerPoint. It could be building a family. Any time that we have our hands in the world and we're making something. So that's creativity. And under that heading, I see three subheadings. One is finding the path, finding the thing that you're passionate about, the thing that has meaning for you. The second is staying on the path, nurturing that passion in productive ways. And the third is completion, finishing things, putting things out into the world. And mindfulness can help with all of these things in a bunch of different ways. Under the heading of finding the path, mindfulness can help us manage the fear and doubt that might come up as we experiment, as we try different things. It can also help us separate personal fulfillment from social value so that we're not just making decisions that society deems respectable or impressive. We're actually making decisions based on how they feel to us and choosing the things that have meaning. On the subject of staying on the path, one issue is separating short-term and long-term fulfillment, helping to tune into the big picture value of keeping our commitments over a long period of time, even when on a given day we might not want to do something. So for me, for example, I don't feel like practicing the piano today, but I will today because I know that I want to learn how to play the piano. Because mindfulness helps us so much with emotion regulation, again, it can help us stay tuned into the long-term benefit and the feelings of long-term gratification from doing something and manage the short-term resistance or confusion or disinterest that might arise. Let's see, we can also use mindfulness tools in the creative act itself, and we'll be practicing several different ways to do this on Saturday. Well, one of them is to use mindfulness to help us stay feeling in our bodies. So we can learn to feel while writing, or to feel while planning, or something like that, so that more and more we're just a feeling system moving through the world even as we engage with tasks. But personally, as I write lyrics, for example, the moment that I'm in my body feeling emotion as I'm writing, the lyrics come from a deeper place. And it's really the place that I want them to come from. It's the place they need to come from. Another mindfulness tool that we can use in the creative act is mindfulness to encourage abstract thinking. So there are specific practices to kind of loosen the conceptual frameworks in the mind so that we can think more loosely, more tangentially. And we'll be doing a practice like that on Saturday as well. The most creative thinking always tends to come from beyond. So that's all staying on the path. And then on the issue of completion and finishing things, mindfulness can help us work with the inner critic in more productive and effective ways. We can learn to see the inner critic not so much as like a harsh slave driver, but more as an editor, as a trusted source of advice in certain moments that we don't need to listen to in every moment. Let's see what else. It can also help us work with perfectionism. Perfectionism can seem supportive. It can seem like we're just wanting to have a high standard, but sometimes it keeps us from finishing things. So with more mindfulness, it tends to be clearer where the motivation is coming from to do that next round of revisions. Is it just treading water because I'm afraid to put something out into the world? Or is it really the necessary edit that's going to make this thing what I want it to be? So we'll be working with the inner critic, and we'll be working with perfectionism on Saturday. Let's see. I think that's enough for now. Suffice it to say, we'll be doing all these exercises as meditations, guided meditations. We'll also have time for writing exercises to help you get clear on exactly what it is that you want to build, create, make, put out into the world. So you'll have a chance to plan and have a little bit of a map for yourself when you walk out of the day. And we'll also have some chances to dialogue. You can ask your questions, air challenges that have come up, and share what your plans are and what you've learned. I'm excited for Saturday. I'm hoping to see you, looking forward to it, and wishing you well.